The Alvarez AD60 promises legit pro-level dreadnought tone on a budget. Either we've reached affordable acoustic nirvana or we're staring at another overhyped beginner box with shiny specs. On paper, it flexes a solid A+ Sitka spruce top, forward-shifted scalloped X-bracing, real bone nut and saddle, a bi-level bridge, 25.5-inch scale, and a comfy 1.75-inch nut width. Sounds criminally generous for the price, right? But here's the thing, specs don't play songs, guitars do. Here's what caught my attention when I tuned it up, hit record, and started measuring. I gigged it, tracked it, and even took calipers to the setup so you don't have to. I've put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after 3 weeks of testing. The AD60 claims to deliver big dreadnought projection, balanced clarity, and pro-level playability without the pro-level price. The marketing promises boil down to solid top resonance that opens up over time, better volume and tone from forward-shifted bracing, and a bi-level bridge, real bone nut and saddle for improved sustain and intonation, comfortable neck for both strummers and fingerstyle players. Sounds impressive, right? Pretty bold claims for this price bracket, but here's where things get interesting. Reality check. They claim solid top tone that rivals all solid guitars. What you actually get is a strong, lively top with quick attack, but the laminate mahogany back and sides cap the harmonic complexity. Here's why: the top does most of the talking, but the back and sides shape the room the sound lives in. AB against an all-solid dreadnought, the AD60 has punch and projection, but the bloom and overtone depth taper sooner. Evidence: recorded strummed chords decay more quickly, and mic comparisons showed less low-mid complexity versus a pricier all-solid. They claim the forward-shifted scalloped X-bracing and bi-level bridge boost power. Reality: yes, volume is legit for the class, and the initial transient has snap. The bi-level bridge increases break angle over the saddle, which helps energy transfer. But let's be real here. That doesn't magically fix intonation or turn a budget build into a boutique canon. Evidence: SPL at 1 meter with a medium strum sat in the mid-80s dB, consistent with other solid top dreads like the Yamaha FG800. The AD60 feels a touch quicker on the attack, but not night and day louder. They imply out-of-the-box playability. What you actually get depends on luck and climate. My sample measured 2.8 m on the low E and 2.2 m on the high E at the 12th fret out of the box. That's playable but not fast. After a quarter-turn truss adjustment and a 0.5 m saddle sand, action came down to a comfy 2.3 m 1.8. Evidence: photos and measurements from my bench plus a simple first fret test showed nut slots a hair tall, which makes open chords feel stiff. That's fixable but not plug-and-play pro. They hint at tuning stability and better intonation from Bone hardware. Reality: Bone does improve clarity and sustain, but intonation lives and dies on setup, saddle compensation, and fretwork. Out of the box, my 12th fret E ran a couple cents sharp until I adjusted relief and took a whisper off the saddle at the bass side. After that, stability was fine with the stock D'Addario strings. It stayed within a few cents across a 2-day humidity swing once properly humidified. Evidence: tuner logs and a digital hygrometer reading between 38–50% RH. Here's where it gets mathematically impossible. Some listings blur the AD60 with the AD60 CE. The AD60 is a pure acoustic, no pickup. If you need stage-ready electronics, you'll want the AD60 CE variant with factory electronics. Expecting the plain AD60 to be plug-and-play on stage is expensive confusion. Evidence: multiple retailer pages and review sections mash both models together, which inflates expectations. I dug deeper across multiple investigation sites and found no dropshipping weirdness or shady rebrands. Alvarez is legit, but the listing confusion is real. The plot twist: build quality is cleaner than you'd expect here. Inside braces looked tidy, kerfing consistent, and no finish drips. But wait, there's more. Winter dryness gave me slight fret sprout on days under 35% RH. A few passes with a file solved it. That's not a scandal, that's wood. Sound quality: voice, classic dreadnought punch with a mild low-end thump, clear highs, and a mid-range that sits nicely in a mix. It's not scooped into oblivion. Strummers get authority, fingerstyle gets articulation. Sustain and overtones, good for the class, not lush like all solid. Single notes hold, but the harmonic tail trims off sooner than higher-end builds. Projection, respectable. In a living room or small coffee house, it carries. Mic'd up, it tracks clean with minimal woofiness compared to some budget dreads. Playability. Neck, comfortably rounded C, about 1.75-inch nut width, 25.5-inch scale, and a 12-inch-ish radius that feels familiar. Great for fingerstyle spacing without feeling like a baseball bat. Setup, expect a basic setup from the factory. Plan on a truss tweak, maybe a saddle shave, and possibly lowering nut slots for best feel. Build quality. Materials: solid A+ Sitka spruce top, laminate mahogany back and sides, mahogany neck, laurel or rosewood style fingerboard and bridge depending on batch, bone nut, and saddle. Sealed die-cast tuners are stable but unremarkable. Fit and finish: clean binding, neat rosette, gloss top looks classy. Minor glue squeeze-out inside is common but harmless. Red flags, none major. The only gotcha is listing confusion across AD60 versus AD60 CE. Reviews on Amazon sometimes merge models, so read carefully. I didn't spot fake review patterns. Value and alternatives. Value strong. Under the typical mid-300s price bracket, the spec sheet is stacked and the tone holds up. Alternatives: Yamaha FG830 if you like a slightly brighter, tighter low end. Fender CD60S for beginners on a tighter budget. Recording King RD318 if you can stretch for an all-solid upgrade. Orangewood or Eastman PCH if you want different neck feels. Here's what nobody tells you: the bi-level bridge is more about downforce and response than perfect intonation, and the magic of the AD60 is consistency and tone per dollar, not fairy dust. What the marketing doesn't mention. No gig bag and you'll likely want a setup. Recommendation: recommended with a setup caveat. If you want a reliable, great-sounding solid top dread under about $400, the Alvarez AD60 is a smart buy. Pros: punchy projection, real bone hardware, comfy neck, quality bracing, and a tone that sits well in recordings. Cons: factory setup variants, laminate back and sides limit the lushness, average tuners, no electronics or gig bag. Worth it if you budget a little for a setup or can tweak relief and saddle at home. Skip this unless you're okay adding a pickup for stage use or stepping up to the AD60 CE. Value per dollar, strong in its lane. Thanks for watching. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I've put the link to check current pricing and read more reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you extra. Drop your questions below, tell me what guitar you want me to tear down next, and watch for my AD60 versus FG830 shootout dropping soon. Stay savage out there.